Okay, let's unpack this, because today we are looking at something that I'm not going to lie to you. It actually made me double-check my own locks before we hit record.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, we're digging into this really baffling account from the Midnight Frequency. It's about a man named Elias Thorne at the Grandview Hotel. And calling it a ghost story, just, it feels too small for what this is.
It really does. It's not a simple haunting, is it? It creates this very specific kind of unease.
Exactly. It's not a lady in white. It's more like a glitch in reality.
Yeah.
A total collapse.
And just to give this some context, before we really wade in here, we're looking at a detailed first-person account from Elias Thorne himself. Now, the Grandview Hotel, it's actually a known entity in paranormal circles. It has a documented history of disappearing guests, going all the way back to 1924.
Which is, I mean, that's already a massive red flag.
Right.
If a hotel has a history of disappearing guests, maybe don't book a room. Just a thought.
You would think so. But Elias's account is different from those older stories. It's modern, and it's frankly unsettling because it brings in these psychological and temporal elements.
It's a loop.
It's a loop. It deals with time in a way that feels very sticky.
And that's exactly what we're here for. Our mission for this deep dive is to deconstruct his experience step by step. We want to understand the mechanics of this loop, and especially this Doppelgänger Effect that the source talks about. And just a heads up to you listening right now, you might want to keep the lights on for this one, because there's one detail in the source that really messed with my head.
I know the one you're talking about.
The events in the story, they climax on a very specific date, January 29, 2026.
Which, if you're checking your calendar or your phone right now,
is today. Literally today. We're recording this on the exact day the story says it all goes down.
And that specificity, I think that's what grounds the horror. It takes this abstract fear and just anchors it in our immediate reality.
It makes it feel inevitable.
Exactly. So let's start where Elias starts, the arrival.
Right. So the setup. Elias drives into Vermont, and usually you hear Vermont, you think, quaint, cozy.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, exactly. But the way he describes the atmosphere, it's oppressive from the get-go. He says the rain isn't just falling. He describes it as colonizing the landscape.
That's such a specific, aggressive word choice, isn't it? Colonizing.
It is. It implies an invasion, like the weather itself is hostile. A thick, gray curtain smelling of pine and wet pavement.
And then he sees the hotel.
He says it sits on a cliff like a gargoyle. It just feels predatory before he even steps out of the car.
It does. And what's so fascinating here, and what I think makes the narrative work so well, is the contrast. Elias isn't there for a ghost hunt. He's not some investigator. He's there for a modern tech conference.
Right, he's exchanging business cards, checking emails. It's so mundane.
Very 2026, which makes the shift so much more. Exactly. The moment he engages with the Grandview, all that modernity is just stripped away. It's like a hotel is stuck in a different time.
Oh, totally. And the check-in is the perfect example of that. He walks in, soaking wet, and the receptionist is using a typewriter.
A heavy iron Remington, not some cool retro keyboard.
No, and he describes the sound so vividly. Clack, clack, ding.
It's so industrial, so mechanical. And the receptionist herself, her voice is described as sounding like dry leaves.
Which is such a visceral image. It implies something brittle, something dead.
Exactly. No life in it. It's signaling to him and to us that he's crossing a threshold. He's entering this decaying analog reality.
And then comes the first warning. The elevator is out of service.
Which forces him to take the stairs. Classic trope, but it works.
It makes him work for it, right? It gets his heart rate up before anything even happens.
And before he goes, she gives him that one specific chilling warning. She says, if you hear a phone ringing in the hallway, don't answer it. It isn't for you.
Ugh, that gave me actual chills. It's so specific. She doesn't say the phones are broken. She says, it isn't for you.
It implies that communication is happening, but it's misdirected. It's not for him.
It's like there's a whole conversation going on in the hotel that he's not supposed to be a part of.
It's planting the seed. The auditory signals in this hotel, they are not to be trusted.
So he heads up to the 4th floor, lugging his bag, and the sensory details just keep piling on. He describes the carpet as deep, bruised purple.
Bruised. Such a gross word for a color.
It is. And he notes the smell of ozone, like the air right before a lightning strike. Why ozone?
Well, in paranormal literature, it's often cited as a precursor to a manifestation. The idea that it takes a massive amount of energy for something to break through.
So it's charging the air.
Exactly. It adds to that feeling of static, of tension, like the building itself is about to snap.
And then there's the sound. He's walking down the hall and he hears thumping.
But not footsteps.
No, from behind the wallpaper. Thump, thump, thump. He says it's like a heartbeat.
Which reinforces that idea of the hotel being alive. It's an organism with a pulse, and he's walking right into its guts.
That is so claustrophobic. So he finally gets to room 402, and when he opens the door, he says it exhales this cold draft at him.
See, the room isn't passive. It's an active participant. And look at the design. 4-poster bed, velvet curtains, a rotary phone.
No TV, no Wi-Fi.
Nothing. It's designed to isolate him, to remove all modern distractions and force a confrontation.
So he's exhausted. He throws his bag down, and here's where it gets really interesting. This is the moment the glitch kicks in. He closes his eyes, and that rotary phone starts to make a noise. But it doesn't ring.
No, and this is a detail I loved. A ringing phone is a cliche. This is something else.
He describes it so clearly. Whir, click, click. The phone is physically dialing itself.
I mean, think about the mechanics of that. A rotary phone is physical. A force has to literally put a finger in the dial and turn it.
So it's not an electrical glitch. Something is physically manipulating it.
Something with kinetic forces in the room right next to his head.
So despite the warning, or maybe because the warning was for the hallway phone, Elias picks it up. He says, hello.
And at first, there's just silence.
And then he hears a voice. And it's his own.
The pivot point of the whole story, it's his voice, but it sounds older, distorted.
Yeah, like a recording that's been played too many times.
Let's break down the actual dialogue because every single word here matters. The voice says, "You're late. You've been in this room for 40 years. Look under the floorboards."
You've been in this room for 40 years. I mean, that just shatters his sense of time. He just checked in.
It's devastating. And it connects directly to this idea of the Doppelgänger Effect in folklore. Hearing your own voice is a premonition of misfortune.
But this isn't just a premonition. It's an instruction.
It's an instruction from a future Elias or an Elias from another timeline. It suggests that while he thinks he's at the start of the story, he might actually be at the end of a cycle he doesn't even remember.
That's absolute nightmare fuel. So, naturally, he follows the instruction. He rips back the rug, pries up a loose floorboard with a pen.
And we're all expecting a body, right? Or bones.
Something gruesome. But it's not a body. It's a journal.
A journal. And the source is so specific about the forensics here. He recognizes the handwriting. The slanted T's and looped L's.
It's his. Unquestionably his handwriting.
But he's never seen the book before.
No. And he opens it to the last entry. And this is the part. This is the part that made my stomach drop. The date at the top of the page is January 29, 2026.
Today's date.
Just to be clear for you listening, he is finding this on January 29, 2026. He is holding a physical object written by himself on the day he is finding it.
Which is the terrifying implication, the bootstrap paradox. The journal has no origin.
What do you mean?
He found it because he wrote it, but he hasn't written it yet, so where did it come from? The sequence of cause and effect has just collapsed.
It's like the room created it.
Mm-hmm.
And the entry itself, I have the quote right here. It says, "He's standing behind me now. I am the echo, and he is the voice."
I am the echo, and he is the voice. That inversion is everything.
What does that mean?
Elias, our narrator, thinks he's the real one, the source signal. But the journal suggests he's just the secondary iteration, the echo.
Wait, so the Elias we've been following might not be the original one.
That's what the text implies. An echo is a reflection. It arrives later. It's weaker. If he's the echo, the event has already happened. He's just the reverberation of it.
Oh my God. He's not discovering the mystery. He iced the mystery.
He is. So he reads this, feels a cold breath on his neck, but he doesn't turn around.
No, he looks at the reflection in the window. And this is the image that stays with you. He sees himself, but his reflection isn't moving.
It's static.
It's just watching him. Elias is hyperventilating, shaking, but the reflection is perfectly still. And it's smiling.
A smile with too many teeth.
Yes. What is that about?
It's a classic horror marker for something mimicking a human but not quite getting the anatomy right. It's the uncanny valley weaponized. It looks like him, but the biology is wrong. It's a predator wearing his face as camouflage.
And the story just ends there.
Yeah.
With him staring at this thing in the glass. But the implication from the source is that the real Elias might still be trapped in that room.
That's the theory. If the reflection was the one smiling, and the voice on the phone said, "You've been here 40 years," it implies the entity is the one that leaves.
And the Elias who walked in just gets absorbed. He becomes the next ghost story.
Yes.
So if we zoom out, what does this all mean? How do we even process that?
I think the source is presenting a theory where time isn't a line. In the Grandview, it's a circle. Elias didn't just visit the hotel, he became part of its architecture the moment he walked in.
It was a trap, like a Venus flytrap waiting for a specific fly.
Precisely. And it makes you wonder about hauntings. We think of ghosts as spirits of the past, but here, the ghost was him. The haunting was caused by his own future self.
You can haunt yourself. You can be your own ghost.
And that raises a really interesting question for all of us, right? About how we perceive reality. We talk about places having vibes. This story just literalizes that feeling.
It's the idea that you can leave a piece of yourself behind somewhere. But at the Grandview, it keeps the whole thing.
And replaces it with an echo. An echo that walks out, drives your car.
Oh, that is absolutely terrifying. I am never looking in a hotel mirror again. I'm brushing my teeth in the dark from now on.
Probably a wise choice.
This has been a wild ride. It's a story that really makes you question the solidity of the world around you, you know? It reminds you that our grip on now is maybe a little looser than we think.
It certainly does. And if I can leave you with one final thought, something to carry with you. We all have our routines, familiar things in our homes, but pay attention.
Pay attention to what?
Small changes, the glitches. If you ever find an object in your home that feels slightly out of place, a book you don't remember buying,
Right.
or if you catch your reflection holding eye contact just a second too long.
Don't tell me.
Whatever you do, don't look under the floorboards.
Until next time, keep diving.